4,000, almost doubling the number of want-to-sees, overwhelmingly negative. This continues on the 21st, where it jumps from 8.6 to 12.9, 57, 53%, up to 15, 17 at 52%. We're up to the 24th of February, by the way, down to 34%. And its lowest point, its nadir, was 28% on the 25th of February at 44,735 reviews. So, our user ratings, not reviews. Apologize for that. And so what happened is the next day, they just deleted them all. And they got rid of the feature altogether because, as they saw this terrible drop of the want-to-see ratings, they got rid of the feature altogether. The liberal mainstream media made up a term for this called, I believe they called it review bombing. So, you whether or not you interpret that as dog whistle speak for angry white men online, up to you, but trolls are already review bombing Captain Marvel on Rotten Tomatoes. And it goes into it. It's a very short article. Here's another article. Rotten Tomato removes want-to-see percentage score. And you can kind of see the rationale for it. They, wanted to see, in the Rotten Tomatoes new redesign, want-to-see is now much less prominent and only reveals the raw number of users who indicated want to see the film, as seen below. And so the want-to-see is 17. You can kind of see it there. So something happened in that before they deleted the feature, they had 44,735 people saying they wanted to see it. After they altered the feature, not actually deleting it altogether, but making it far less prominent, you can kind of see in the blue right here, it suddenly went from 44,000 to 17, right, or 18. And so suddenly, over like 30,000 reviews want-to-sees were just gone. So no one's ever explained that, actually. Going on, Brie Larson hitting the PR roadshow for the movie, touts intersectional feminism theme in Captain Marvel because it's 2019. And, that's a sort of pithy statement that you hear quite a lot from progressive types. I don't, have any comment on whether it's a valid claim because it's 2019. I will say that Prime Minister Trudeau, when he was elected, Prime Minister of Canada, I can't remember, it was 2014 or 2015 or 2016. He made half of his cabinet women, 50%, and his rationale is that, well, it's 2016. So, whether that's a valid, accreditation to be approved leadership of the country because of your gender, I don't know, Okay, so it doesn't stop there, this story. This is a strange story. 3 days before the movie debuts, it debuted on the 8th, suddenly the professional reviews are coming in at 83%, 122 professional reviews. The want-to-see down here, creeping back up, 22.9. Actually, is that the case? Yeah, it's creeping back up. 22.9. Next day, well, 2 days later, 82. And suddenly, the 8th, first day the movie's released, suddenly it's jumped to 58,551 reviews, audience score 34%. However, later in that day, suddenly their user reviews dropped from 58,000 to 4,000. And note the time date stamp here. So that is, at 58,000, that was around 12 noon, 12 p.m., I assume. And at 5 o'clock, 5:46, suddenly 50,000 plus reviews are just gone. How did they explain this? Well, Captain Marvel Sandbag, Rotten Tomatoes, on Rotten Tomatoes a few hours at the opening. As of 8 a.m., the film had a 33% score, which you just kind of saw. However, around 1 p.m., and this could be Pacific time, it dropped to 7,000. And actually, it dropped far less. It dropped to 4,300. But no matter. What they said, Rotten Tomatoes said, we have identified a bug in the post-release functionality for the movies that we've released into theaters since our product update last week. The quantity of user ratings, which is displayed directly below the audience score and is intended only to include the quantity of users who have left a rating or written a review after a movie's release, had included both pre-release and post-release fan voting. So what they're saying is that the prior scrubbed or moved want to see was suddenly accidentally added to the actual user reviews of people who've seen it. However, it doesn't explain however before they changed the rating, it was user want to sees were at 44,000. They changed the feature. It suddenly dropped to 17 or 18,000 the day of the release. It kind of makes sense. So what they did was something very strange in that this number here, 58,000, it would make sense. The day of the review, day of the opening, let's say there's 4,000 and before they scrubbed the feature, 49,000. That makes 49,000 it's short of the 58,000 here, but it kind of makes sense, However, dropping this to 4,000, I don't know. The reason why it doesn't make sense, of course, is because it went from 44,000 when they changed the system. Want to see dropped to 23,000. So somewhere in there, 23, 24,000 users were just eliminated somehow, and they don't have any explanation for this. Okay, so the views go on. The 9th, they climb back up, and suddenly, even after the embarrassing thing is that after they removed all the prior online trolls, it only jumped up 2%. So nobody who saw it early really liked it. You could say that. However, the next day, on the 9th, suddenly there are 31,000 reviews coming up. The score jumps up from 34 to 53 to 57 to 58, and finally it gets the positive logo here at 62% at 60,000 reviews. And basically, this is how they're game the system. And Wikipedia has some sort of interesting narrative here, and it's not really entirely truthful. So, want to see score and anticipation poll had fallen to 28%. They described the decline as an effort to review bomb the page, again, sort of dog whistle, perceived feminism. They changed the feature shortly thereafter, part of a larger redesign. By 8 a.m. opening day, the film had 33% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes from 58,000 reviews, which was more audience reviews than Avenger Infinity War had during its entire theatrical run. However, so that tells you, that's supposed to signify to you that this number is fake. However, if you scroll to the bottom, now the audience score is more than Infinity Wars. So now they have 62,000 reviews, which is more than Infinity Wars. And I don't know how Captain Marvel gets more reviews than Infinity Wars. So somewhere in there, a lot of reviews were cut. This whole debacle around want to see was removed or changed, fudged with. And basically this is the story of how Rotten Tomatoes, an actress who promotes an agenda that, a lot of people don't like, kind of ruined the whole movie-going experience. It's really unfortunate. I was looking forward to this movie, quite frankly. I don't think I'll go see it now. And, a lot of modern YouTube movie reviewers would say, like, yeah, this is worth paying to go see in the movie to the next level, which is, I think this is a rental. And then the next level down is, like, streaming. I would say this movie, the only way I'm going to see it is, like, if it's free on an airplane or if my friend streams it. But, I'm very disappointed in these kind of shenanigans. Disappointing to say the least. So I hope that was a helpful look at how Captain Marvel was gamed on Rotten Tomatoes. How a Marvel Cinematic Universe property was kind of self-destructed, really, and how not to do it. So, all right, I'm Tatsu. I'll see you later. Thanks.